औज़ुबिल्लाहि बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन। बहुत शुक्रिया आप लोगों के ज्वाइन करने का। और आप मैंने अभी चैट में ऑलरेडी देख लिया है कि पेरेंट्स जो हैं वो ज़्यादा हैं। क्वेश्चन मार्क्स फॉर यूथ के एनीवेज़ मैं अपना इंट्रोडक्शन पहले दे देती हूँ। मेरा नाम शाज़िया तारिक है और मैं वीओटीपी से रिलेटेड हूँ एज़ अ स्टाफ मेंबर। इसके अलावा जो व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप है हमारा पेरेंट्स एम्पावरमेंट का, उसकी भी मैं इंचार्ज हूँ। अब में से मोस्ट ऑफ जो ज़्यादातर मेंबर अभी अटेंड हैं, उनमें वो ज़्यादातर मुझे जानते होंगे। मेरा उनसे काफ़ी टाइम से तकरीबन 1 मंथ से हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं इस प्रोजेक्ट को, इस सेशन को अ, कामयाब करने के लिए, और आप लोगों ने ऑब्वियसली बहुत ज़्यादा कोशिश की है। सो आज के सेशन में जो है मेरा काम क्या होगा, मैं मैम फरहाना है, हमारी होस्ट हैं, उनको असिस्ट करूँगी, आप लोगों की चैट भी देखूँगी और अगर कुछ क्वेश्चन हुए तो मैं आपके क्वेश्चंस भी पूछूँगी इंशाल्लाह। इसके अलावा प्रोग्राम में क्या होगा कि आप लोगों से हम क्या रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं, जस्ट प्लीज़ आप लोग अगर कोई क्वेश्चन हो तो अपना हैंड रेज़ करें, आप लोगों के क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछे जाएँगे। और चैट में अगर कुछ शेयर करना चाहते हो तो चैट में शेयर करें। जस्ट थोड़ा-सा प्लीज़ बी रिस्पेक्टफुल विद ईच अदर। एंड इसके अलावा क्या करेंगे, आपको ये सेशन जो है ना, नॉर्मल जो आमतौर पे सेशंस होते हैं उससे थोड़ा डिफरेंट इसलिए लगेगा कि थोड़ा-सा इसमें क्वेश्चन आंसर्स होंगे। सिर्फ ये नहीं होगा कि आप इंस्ट्रक्टर जो है मैम फरीदा जो बोलती जाएँगी और फिर एंड में आपको जो है ना बस आप सुनते जाएँगे और एंड में खत्म हो जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं होगा। आप लोगों का इंटरेक्शन भी रहेगा हमारे साथ इंशाल्लाह। तीसरी बात ये आपसे रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे कि अगर आप अपने कैमराज़ ओपन रख सकते हैं तो प्लीज़ ओपन रखें, इससे ज़्यादा बेटर एक क्लास वाली फीलिंग आएगी, एक अच्छा लगेगा, इंटरेक्शन रहेगा आपके साथ। और या इंशाल्लाह और भी कोई अगर कोई क्वेश्चन होगा तो इंशाल्लाह हम आपसे बिल्कुल पूछते रहेंगे। एंड और बाकी फीडबैक फॉर्म के बारे में आपको बाद में बता दिया जाएगा इंशाल्लाह। तो मैं अभी ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लूँगी आप लोगों का, जिससे हम जो स्टार्ट करते हैं। ओवर टू यू मैम फरहाना।
Yeah. Jazakallah khairan, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to VOTP, and Jazakallah khairan for taking out this time, precious time of your day, and investing in yourself and the community and the ummah and the humanity at large. So, inshallah. So I'm myself a staff member of Voice of the People, and this came out of IMS C70 group. Say group bana hai, and we started on this project to serve our ummah and the humanity at large. Now, initially it started as let's kind of increase the political awareness of our community. That was the initial beginning of Voice of the People, and this started, after October the 7th. And uske baad, what we felt that we had a lot of gaps to build up. We had to clear our Muslim identity. We had to build ourselves a little bit more before we could start contributing at a larger scale, in the political realm and in the area to get the policies and the justice right at the world level. So that's how we step down to improving ourselves, and this is on the Find Your Truth website, where the journey is to discover ourselves and get better equipped, and reach our highest potential before serving others. So and in this, the most important one we have is relationships, the relationships with ourselves, the relationships with our with the family, with the community, and with the globe at large. So as a part of this, there are a lot of gaps here, and many of us are not equipped. So we decided to run this session. This is going to be extremely helpful for parents, who can develop themselves and help their kids develop as well. And the same thing is going to be extremely helpful for all the youth who have signed up in their own journey for discovering their own leadership skills within themselves. So it's going to benefit in both regard. And let me introduce Sister Farida Abbasi, who's going to be helping us, mentoring us through this journey of understanding what relationships are, understanding what conflicts are. And this session is going to run over, total of 4 sessions, and we will be having a follow-up discussion on the coming Thursday as well. And Sister Farida, she has, experience since 2001 in the field of education. She has mentored teachers. She, has experience with running a school, in Pakistan, teaching kids. So a lot of hands-on experience in this area. And, she also has been a human rights, activist as well. So we are here, with Sister Farida, who has tremendous experience. So please, use her to understand. Once after her presentation, please ask questions and use her to understand, the gaps you have and how to overcome those gaps. Inshallah, we will take question answer sessions in the end. And remember, again, on Thursday, we're just going to have a complete question answer sessions after you listen to this, as well as after you go through the course. So go ahead, Sister Faida. Inshallah, we are all excited to learn and inshallah improve ourselves and benefit the community and the ummah. Jazakallah khairan.
Thank you, Sister Farhana, for introducing me and introducing our purpose at VOTP. I'm an educationist, as Sister Shazia said. I'm a teacher. I like to see my students. I really, really like to see my students, because then I know what are they grasping, what difficulties are they having. So I would request you to put your video on as my students. Would that be possible? Any issues on
you can
putting?
take some. Sorry.
Huh?
I was just talking to our members. If they want, they can take just 2 minutes to get ready to on their camera.
We're not ready. Get ready and come. I mean, God has brought us together.
Yeah.
I'm a teacher.
Yeah, it will be.
It's necessary for me to see my students, in teaching. So I would appreciate that if we have videos on. Yes? So,
Thumbs up.
Who is going to put the video on? I think we had this discussion before as well. Let's have more of them on. Thank you, Sister Farah. Let's have more videos on. Let's be, the connection is stronger. The connection is stronger. You can wear your masks. You can, dress as you like. We don't mind. Apni jaise aapko pasand hai, aap karen. But, let's have the video on so we are in connection. There's a more closer connection. Engagement zyada hoti hai, and we gain much more. You'll also be here. Okay. So we'll start now. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So what are we covering today? So we are looking at life, since life is all about relationships. And we are going to look at why are they so important? How do they impact our life? And, if we don't pay any attention to them, are there any consequences? The next area we're looking at is how do we define a problem? What do we say is a problem and what isn't a problem? The third area is dealing with conflict. How does a person deal with conflict? There are various ways of dealing with it. Some are good, some are bad. You need to know what they are. You need to know why you're choosing one and not the other, right? And then you're actually going to look at where there is conflict. So what is the level of conflict? So when you know the level of conflict, you also know what kind of handling does it need. And then we end off today's session with levels of understanding in relationships that you have. So you will learn to give it a level, the relationships that you have in life, okay? So we start with building positive relationships. So is everybody all right with Urdu and English both together running? Can I ask a quick question on that? Is everybody fine with that? Put your hands up and let us know. It's okay if I do a mixed English-Urdu? What are we getting, Sister Shazia? I'm okay on mixed? Okay.
Yes, yes.
We're okay on mixed. All right. So we are looking at what is the definition of relationship. So a relationship is a connection you have. So any relationship, any connection you have is a relationship, whether it's weak or strong, whatever kind you have, there is a relationship there if there's a connection. And if there is a disagreement in that relationship, that is called a conflict. दो definitions सही हो गए. Relationship क्या होता है and conflict क्या होता है. So now, who has the relationship? You have relationships with yourself, within a family, and within any group or team. So we're going to look at the first one, with yourself. Now, those of you who have done the course, Know Yourself, are familiar with this picture. Allah Ta'ala has blessed us in making us a human being, and He's given us a lot of tools. The problem is that a number of us are confused about who we are, and we consider the tool to be us, and that causes a lot of trouble in life. So in this course, Knowing Yourself, you find out who you really are, what are the tools, and how to use them to your best benefit to make this life productive, and also Akhirat mein you get the maximum reward if you follow this Know Yourself path that is based on the ayats of the Quran. And I would definitely encourage everybody to do that so that they gain more about themselves. So a person who knows about themselves will be able to do much more in life than if they don't understand themselves. So the first relationship you have is with yourself. And if that relationship is very strong and you're self-aware, that means your inner conflicts are getting resolved. You're growing spiritually and in many other ways if you're self-aware. And your relationship with you gets stronger. So that ensures when you don't have an upset inside of you, you can also communicate better outside. But if there's a lot of conflict going inside and you're confused and you're unsure, so you also lack the ability to communicate properly with other people. And then if you are self-aware, you also have the ability to bounce back when something wrong happens. If something bad happens, if something unexpected happens, if you are following the path of self-awareness, you can bounce back very easily, right? So these are the advantages in being self-aware and having a strong relationship with yourself. Then we come to the relationship with the family. Now, this is here's the first unit that comes together in society which involves another human being, which is the family. And this unit sets the pattern of relationships for a child from there on outwards. So in a home, that pattern is set. What is a relationship? And the better that home relationship is, the better the life, the outside relationships, the goal achievements, everything improves if we have this relationship sorted out. And in this relationship, we want there to be empathy. And because conflicts are there, we are all different. We all have different opinions, different ideas. So there is going to be conflict. That's a normal part of life. But with empathy, we can resolve those. We can bridge that gap between them. And empathy is more than feeling sorry for somebody or having pity for somebody. You actually are in the shoes of that person. And then you can see how they are affected by this problem. And because of that, if there's a strong relationship in a family, you can clarify misunderstandings and resolve conflict. And the bonds are very strong. So if you have a problem or you have a difficulty, you are reaching out. You have someone there to talk to and to actually share ideas with and resolve it. So the family unit and the relationships are vital, that they are of very high quality because they set the pattern for that person for future relationships as well. And then we move on to the third one, which is like any relationship you have in groups or teams that you have there. So again, it is problem solving. It will help you if your relationships are stronger, that you can resolve problems. You can get to the root cause of things rather than superficially dealing with them. Also, collaboration gets to be there. You know, if we have as a team a problem, we work together and we resolve it. And then, of course, you have a very productive atmosphere. You're not fighting with each other or trying to get the better of the other person. You are in an environment where you're helping each other grow and you're helping the organization and the team achieve its goals. So you can see that the three areas are vital in terms of relationships, and each has, each has a goal. Whether it's your family, whether it's you, whether it's a professional relationship, we are all and it exists in the, the relationships are there in the home, at work, at street, workplaces, in groups of politics, religious environment, educational institutions, internationally in the UN, everywhere, between countries, everywhere relationships are to be found. And every place has a goal. So whatever is we are saying about problem solving in personal, professional relationship, they equally apply to a home, to a self. So if you build up those relationships, you become much more able to solve the problems, to collaborate, to create positive environments, whether it be the home or with a friend or with in a professional environment. So we use the term professional and personal, but I want to make a distinction over here. When we say personal relationship, we actually mean not at work, not related to a work environment. But usually what is happening is, when we say personal relationship, we're taking the meaning you can do whatever you like in that relationship. You can let go and have a mood, or you can behave as much as you like. And that's not what I mean by personal relationship. Personal in this case, when I use the word, it means relationships outside of work. But all the relationships are professional relationships. Even in the home, you're supposed to have a professional relationship. Have a professional relationship with yourself. So that you don't waste time. You are actually very constructive in the relationship with yourself. So does that make sense? Are you happy with that? What I just said, does everybody understand it? Should I give you a little,
Yes, ma'am.
should I give you a quiz? Will you do that? Let's see if you got it. Go on, man. Can you see the quiz? Can you answer it?
Yeah.
So what is the purpose of a relationship? It's a multiple choice question. Let's see if you can get it right. Try your best. Doesn't matter if you get it wrong. It's just we're going to repeat the stuff. It'll get clearer and clearer as you go. So how many people have we got? We got 33 people. Come on, everybody, please. Let's go. Everybody should attempt it. How are we doing? Is that it? I'm going to end the poll.
Okay.
I'm going to end the poll so that you can... Is anybody else doing it? 64% people have participated. Why not 100%? What are the other friends doing? Please put your mic off.
No,
Okay, we're still waiting for the other 20% people to answer. If you're in the class, everyone has to participate, please. Okay. So we have 20% students here that are not answering. Everybody's answered?
Sister Faith, a few of them have written they cannot see where the quiz is. It's not showed up on their screens. Yeah, I think 4 or 5 people have mentioned that in the chat. Yeah.
So we had 24 people come. Let's see next time how we can solve it. There's another quiz coming. I'm going to share the
Inshallah.
results.
Somebody deleted the quiz.
I'm sharing the results now.
Inshallah, we'll try it next time.
Yeah. So the correct answer, which one is it? The first 3, right? The first 3 are correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense? All right. Just, is the quiz still showing, Sister Shazia?
No, it's not showing.
All right, thank you. So now we've established that there is a need to create understanding and resolve conflict. Everyone agrees with that, right? Now we're going to move on to the next topic, which is what is a problem? What is a problem? So this definition is very key, and it applies not only in relationships, but in everything in life. It's the difference you find in the perceived state and the desired state. So perceived state, what is that? Perceived state is something that you observe, not somebody else observing it, how you observe something and how you desire to have it. So if there's a difference between the two of them, then it is your problem. You want to resolve it. Does that make sense? And it's very important to actually analyze the perceived state. The more you analyze it, the more you will know the reasons, the causes, how it happened, why it happened. So ask yourself those questions. In this case, we are seeing a shirt with a stain. So we ask, what stain is it? It's a coffee stain. Where is it taking place? It's in the front of the shirt. How did it appear? By spilling black coffee. Whose shirt is it and how old is it or whatever? And you give that answer. And the spill happened, when did it happen? This morning, and it's a very recent one. It hasn't been there for a long time. So now you have the data. Can you have that mic off, please? Okay, so perceived state, what did we say? You need to analyze it. Why do you need to analyze it? So that you can actually understand that state and say, okay, this is the reason, these are the causes, this is the actual situation. The more you understand the actual situation, the more able you are to resolve the problem. And why is it important to define the desired state? In this case, I could have said, okay, just make the stain not noticeable. But maybe I want it really looking like new again. So you have to say, what is the desired state? The more you visualize it, the more likely you're going to reach your target and your goal. So what is a problem? A problem is a difference between a perceived state and a desired state. They both need analysis in order for you to reach your goal. So let's look at relationships now. And relationships could be between a parent and a child, brother and sister, boss and employee, husband and wife, with in-laws. Okay, I've got somebody writing on the screen. Let's see. I'll have to reload. I think I let it go at this time, but I think it should have stopped. All right, so we're looking at the different types of relationships. And it goes across into society where you have the relationship between you and the politician, between a client and a lawyer, teacher and a student, a seller and a buyer, a religious leader and a member. So they are all relationships. And you have to decide what is your desired state of relationship, right? So say with the postman, what kind of a relationship do I want with them? Well, I want a relationship So hello, and I can say, have a good relationship, nothing too close, nothing personal. I don't really want to discuss much with them. So that's my desired state. And do I have it? So if I have it, I say good morning to him, and he asks about me, and I ask about him, and we have a good, little chat sometimes here and there. So my perceived state and my desired state in this case is the same. So then we don't have a problem here. But if there is a problem, then we have to actually understand what is the difference between that perceived state and desired state. I'm going to stop sharing because these lines will stay on there, and I'm going to come back. Bear with me, please. Are we okay now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're fine. Okay, so in a perceived state, you also have to ask those questions. You do have to ask what specific behavior or actions indicate a problem. You provide the details. Is there anything triggering this behavior? Where are these behaviors occurring? Are they occurring in the home? Are they occurring with somebody present? How are they showing up? Are they showing up with the person not speaking, or the person being rude, or the person going quiet or leaving? Just study what is happening. Who is involved in the issue? Is it a particular topic that triggers it, or is it a person's presence that's triggering it? When did this behavior start, and how frequent is it? So you are studying the perceived state of that relationship, which is not to your ideal standard, and what, where, how, who, and when questions you're asking those, right? And when you've done that, you also need to say, what is your desired state of that relationship? How close do you want that relationship to be with your child, or with your spouse, or with your boss? Just define and write the desired state, visualize it, because that is your goal at which you're aiming. So I hope that makes sense. We'll do another quiz. Should we do another quiz on this area to see how much you understand it? Would you like to see that?
Yes.
Okay. So let's do that. Can everybody see it this time? I hope it's, is it visible?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is, yeah, just go ahead and do this one. It's a little bit tricky, but let's see if you can solve it. So you have a problem, and I don't know the perceived state of something, but I know the desired state of it. Do you have a problem then? If you don't know the perceived state, but you know the desired state, is there a problem? You can see the definition of what is a problem. I hope it's visible. You got 34 people, 15 have answered so far. Please keep trying. It doesn't matter if you get it wrong. We are here to just learn. So just trying and then asking a question, that's what it's all about. We're one step ahead if we keep learning something every day. 20 out of 30 people have answered, 34 people. Very good. I think that's it on the answers. I'm not getting any more people. 23. Anyone else wants to have a go? Okay. I'm going to end the poll there and show you the result. Okay. So if you don't know the desired state or the perceived state, you can't really have a problem. You can't. You have to know both of them, right? If they both match, then there isn't any difference. So you're getting what you want. So there isn't a problem, right? So the last one is the correct answer. The perceived and desired state are not matched. That's when you have a problem. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so we finished with what is the problem, and we found out the importance of relationships. Now we go on to different approaches of conflict. Anyone can tell me what is a conflict? We covered the definition. Anyone? What is a conflict? Students should speak up.
Yeah.
Why are you
Just raise your hands if you want to.
What is a conflict?
When we have difference of opinion with somebody.
Yeah, we had this on the first screen. It's
A conflict
disagreement.
actually.
Yeah, you're right. When there's a disagreement in any relationship, that there's a conflict there. All right. So how do different people deal with conflict? So the first one is way of doing it is to avoid conflict. So what does a person do when they're avoiding conflict? They just leave the situation. There's a disagreement and they walk away, or they just pretend it doesn't exist. That's it. No, they ignore it totally. That would be the first approach towards it. The next one is smooth it over. So there's a conflict. Supposing my friend broke my something that was very precious to me, and I smooth it over. How would I smooth it over? I would say, oh, it doesn't matter. It happens. Accidents happen. But it's broken my heart. I'm so upset about it that she's broken it, but I'm smoothing it over, right? So the upset is there, but I'm pretending there's no conflict and everything is cool. That will be smooth it over. And the third one is to win. That's another approach. Win at all costs. So I have an argument with my friend and I have to win it. I have to be right. So that will be my third approach. My attitude is I must win and they must lose. That's the way it is. That's my third approach. And the fourth one is compromise, where I have a conflict and I give in a little and the other person gives in a little. Say I have a conflict with Shazia about something, and then Shazia, I say, okay, we have said, okay, we are going to eat this food, and this is the best, that I like this one. And she says, no, well, I don't like the Pakistani food. I like this food. And so we kind of making it something that we both can get on with, but we both don't like what has happened. So there's a compromise there. So win-win negotiation would be when you actually sit down and do a creative solution and make the thing so that they're both happy with it. And there's no win-lose in it. There's no compromise in it. You're both happy with it because you both worked at a creative solution out of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now we look at, in these 5 approaches, we look at what approach is concern for self and concern for the other. So when I'm avoiding a conflict, am I at very high interest on myself? Am I doing something good for myself? No. I'm not caring about myself. I'm ignoring the issue. And I'm ignoring the other person as well because they have an upset on it. So I'm ignoring, my concern for self and for the other is low in avoiding. If I'm compromising, what am I doing? I'm overly caring for the other person and totally neglecting myself. So that would be accommodating and going over that side where I'm smoothing it over. So when I'm caring a lot about myself, I'm concerned for self, I must win, I make this other person lose. Have a very high interest in myself, concern for self, but very low concern for the other person. And when I'm compromising, I'm choosing a middle ground. I'm half caring about myself and half caring about them. So nobody's fully happy in it, but we are sort of meeting halfway. And then in the collaborative one, in the win-win one, in the negotiation one, we're both coming up and working at it creatively and getting something resolved on that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do it. Let's see at a little more quiz if you can sort this one out. Can you see it? Can you see it? Is it visible?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let's see how it goes. Which one is in which approach the conflict is there low concern for others and high concern for self? That's the question. Low concern for others and high concern for self. Okay, good. Got about 27 people have answered out of 37. Any more people want to have a go? I'm going to end the poll then and show you the results. So win at any cost, the person just cares about themselves. They're not concerned about the other person. So that would be the right answer. Win at any cost. So in the compromise one, you go halfway, right? And in creative problem solving, you're caring about yourself and the others. In avoiding conflict, you're not caring about yourself or the other person. And smoothing it over, you're caring only about the other person, but not about yourself. Right? Okay. All right, so we go on to the next one. This is our next topic. What is the level of conflict and understanding? If you look at, your home, your work, there is a level of understanding in every home. There's a level of conflict or understanding. You've got to see it exists. So if there's a lot of arguments and fighting and this, that, and the other, it's quite obvious there's some conflict going on. That's very obvious. What isn't obvious and what is mistaken for understanding, if it's quiet, it could be there is conflict in that home because people are too scared to say anything. They're not voicing their opinions. They're keeping it internal. So there is conflict there. It's just not visibly showing. So you have to be able to assess the level of understanding in your homes and the level of conflict, and also at your workplace. You see it exists in the community and streets. What is a level of understanding at the world level? Is there a level of understanding in the world today?
No.
No, there's no level of understanding. The perceived state and desired state of how humanity should behave, there's such a big difference. We have a huge problem in terms of what the desired state is and what the actual state is. And similarly, in the community and streets, there's a difference. There is, and it gives us an opportunity to serve. So we take it very positively. If there's a difference, we've got an opportunity to serve and do something good. In the home, what is your desired home? What should it be like for you, for your spouse, for the children, for your in-laws, for everybody? Write it down. What is that desired state? And what is the perceived state that you see for your child or for your spouse? How is it? And define those problems. because as we go through the course, you will find ways of how to improve them. Your first thing is just identifying there is a problem. I'm going to go very briefly into levels of conflict. Levels of conflict. This assumes that there is a difference between the perceived state and desired state. So the conflict is there, right? And now that same conflict, we can see, can be distributed into 9 areas. And you see these 9 areas is when there's very, very light. It's not developing too much. You're getting a bit irritated, but not that much. You're at the first stage of conflict, which is tension. So you can identify that as tension. Then you move into the next stage, which is debate, where there's a little verbal talk, a little anger tone, and you're saying things that you would not say to to somebody you care about and have no conflict with. So that comes to the debate stage where you're talking, the words are coming out that are showing your disagreement. And then the third one is you've moved past the words into a little bit of action. You're blocking the other side's goals. Has become your priority, not letting them win. That you're getting a little bit aggressive about it, and your actions are hostile a little bit, and misunderstanding and distrust is coming about. Now, these 3 are marked in blue. They're marked in blue because at this stage, you still have the power to resolve it on your own. You still can do it. So we'll go over the points of how to resolve it, but you're at the early stages of conflict, and it can be pulled back, and you can get into your desired state and go up and have a good relationship. So we move on into stages 4, 5, and 6, where the conflict focuses on victory or defeat. It's not about the issue. You just want to win, or you want the other person to lose. You're protecting your own reputation, and you want to gain alliance from others, support from others against this person. So you want to say, oh, I've got this one supporting me. He agrees with me. She agrees with me. I've got a bigger team. I've got more people who agree with me. In 5, you're saying that you actually feel that the others, their true colors have become very obvious, and you're looking at them as evil and immoral and criminal people. That's how you're visualizing them. They believe, you believe you are good and they are evil. You will already become a them and us thing. So you've left that group spirit of we are together trying to do something. And then in stage 6, you're getting into giving threats. If you don't do this, I will do this. You better do this. Otherwise, there are consequences. So your communication has changed, and you're putting threats in there. In the stages of 4, 5, and 6, which are a color, you can try and resolve it, but usually you will need somebody who acts as a moderator to resolve the conflict, because it's gone a bit further, and you need a little bit of help from somebody to make the other person see the viewpoint. So it would be nice to have somebody supporting you. And then we move on to the real dangerous stages, where the conflict has grown and become so aggressive that it's become now a threat to both sides to a degree. So in 7, there's limited destruction occurring. Actual attacks are taking place. The goal becomes hurting the other, not finding a solution. And in stage 8, you are in disintegration. Here, you're trying to break the thing up. Attacks become more intense, aiming to destroy the other person or the other party. And stage 9 is you've just gone beyond it now. You don't even care about yourself. You don't ever care about them. You're just out there fighting. So you've lost interest even in yourself to be caring for what is happening to you. So the model is actually showing you how conflict escalates, and you should try and catch it early on. Catch it early on, because you can reverse it. The more you leave it, the harder it becomes to go up the line. The last 3 stages, in stage 7, you need somebody in authority to resolve it. It's not just a moderator. You need somebody who has authority over that person to actually bring about. And 8 and 9, you actually are looking at really professional help, even at lawsuits or things like that. It just has gone way, way beyond, ordinary resolving it. So I think this area, we can see that in our lives, we want to have minimum conflict, right? But I think one important point to see is that, if two people are having an argument, it's not necessary that they are both at that stage. I had somebody arguing with me just the other day, and they were threatening me. And they were at the stage of 6. And I was at stage 1. I could see the tension. So all I'm saying is that both parties are not at the same stage. Because if he was to just slightly change his attitude, I would remove the conflict. There's no conflict, no tension there. So you have to see what is your stage and what is their stage, because their stage might be, very high, and your stage is not that high. And that's a good thing if it's not high, because you're more likely to come out of it without hurting yourself. Right? I hope that makes sense. And if there are any questions on this, we can take it up later. So I'm moving on to the last part of the presentation, which is about assessing the problem. This is the interesting one that I think you'd like, is that you are, as a final part of this lesson, you are to assess your relationships. So you've got relationships, make a list of relationships that are important to you, and you have to assess them. You can hardly talk or interact with this person. The level is 1 to 2. Basic courtesy, and can discuss just top-level stuff. That's 3 and 4. Have some meaningful interaction, but mostly transactional. Business type guy, you can do that. Okay, you go over things like with your accountant or with somebody else at the shop. It's transactional. It's not major. Can share my thoughts and feel safe. And number 9 in 10 is committed to each other and able to be really vulnerable. That means that you can open up to somebody and you are safe with them. You can say to them that your deepest fears, and you still feel you're okay. And that is the relationship of 9 to 10. Now, we're not saying that you have to have 9 to 10 relationships with everybody. Your desired state with your neighbor could be that you can, you're okay with 3 and 4 with your neighbor. Maybe that's what you want. Maybe with your child, you want 9 and 10. So you've got to identify your desired state, and you have to write your perceived state to see if there is a problem or there isn't a problem. So this is one of your homeworks in the course that you will do, and identify the relationships that are important to you, write their desired states, write the perceived states. So give them a value of where they are at and where you want them to be. Does that make sense? Good. All right, so this is our takeaway points. We started off by saying that we know relationships are important, very important. The relationship is with yourself, and the personal and professional, all relationships are important because they help in problem solving, collaboration, positive work environment, and your bonds are stronger. You can achieve your goals in life. Without good relationships, your goals are threatened. You will waste a lot of time. You will not reach them, and you will have a lot of confusion and upsets in your life. So relationships are key, and we will learn through the course how to develop them. We also said how to resolve them. We should resolve them creatively. That should be our aim. And then we looked at what is a problem and also the levels of conflict. So, and lastly, we talked about assessing relationships 12. So the main thing is you do the course. This is the course at the end, which I'm showing 400, KYT 400, Know Your Truth, Building Relationship, Resolving Conflict. It's open now. You can start it, enroll on it, and it'll cover the material that we've just done. So that's, we covered this, and we do have a survey at the end of this, which I'm going to open up for you. And you can please do answer the survey. And I'll give the floor back to Sister Farhana to take your questions, and inshallah we will, or if she has a question, I'll answer that. Back to you, Sister Farhana.
Jazakallah khair, Sister Faida. Alhamdulillah, I think a very, a very useful session. I think just warmed us up to, what are relationships. I mean, the importance of relationships. That's the first one, and of course, what are the problems which can arise in it, and then how to identify them and give them, a rating as well. So I think a lot of self-awareness, has been imparted in this session. So let me go ahead and please go ahead and raise your hands if you have any questions regarding what we have discussed so far. There are just a reminder. So this is just the first session, just warmed up with the definitions, and getting aware that there are conflicts and identifying them at which level they are. And inshallah, the solutions, the reasons, all of them are going to happen in the next 3 upcoming sessions. So that will be dealt in detail. In every session we'll have detailed so that we understand very well. But please go ahead. I think Sundas had a question. If you want to go ahead, you can. Again, we want to focus on self-awareness, how to identify stuff. So you want to base your questions on how I'm going to know, and what are the challenges in identifying. So focus your questions around those. In the meantime, let me ask Sister Faida questions. Sister Faida, so how easy is it to identify that there's a conflict? If you're stuck at any particular stage of conflict yourself, will you still be able to do this, or it's going to be difficult?
If you are in a state of conflict, you know it. Your emotional state tells you. It is, again, comes back to self-awareness. The more aware you are, you can see what is my emotional state, what thoughts am I having, why am I having them? So again, our Know Yourself course would be very beneficial if that was done, to even understand that there is a conflict in yourself. And it could be that the conflict just relates to you. It's not out there. It could be just within yourself. So it's very important to it. Sometimes we have a conflict within ourselves and we take it out on somebody else. So
Sure.
it's very important to do the course, Know Yourself, which is on the Find Your Truth website, and you can log into that. We have Atif over here. He will answer any questions that you have. Atif, identify yourself in the chat and make sure that anybody who has questions can come to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, again, taking a step back from this, the Know Yourself actually really gets us understand ourselves much more better, what emotions are, and so that just to brief on what topics are covered. It's discussing about you as a soul. It's discussing about your mind. It is discussing about your body, and your heart, the qalb, and how the emotions are interplay among all these. So that is kind of in a nutshell. But again, please, you have to have that basic knowledge for definitely, I think. So please go ahead and check that out on the website. Yeah. Any other questions? Anyone else? Please go ahead and raise your hand, ask any questions. Yeah. Sundas, you had a question. I think I saw your hand raised. Please go ahead. You can unmute and you want to ask your question. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. So, the other question which, came to my mind is, we use the word problem and conflict very, very interchangeably. So is there a difference between the word conflict and problem, or are they synonyms?
Well, you could say that, it depends, when you say conflict, you're really talking about people having a difference of opinion, whereas a problem could be with anything. You have a problem with your course. You want to, you're having a problem on study, so the perceived state and the desired state is different. So that would apply to anything, the problem area. Whereas when we talk about conflict, we're more talking about about between people or between teams or, things like that.
Sure. And any what are the challenges which might come in a proper and in a good analysis of the perceived state? Any barriers there?
I think it's very, very necessary to investigate it. This whole, even if you look at the societal problems or you look at the country level, how much of the perceived state have we looked at the Palestinian-Israel issue? It's like we're constantly perceiving it. And, the issues in the world today, if you look at that, we didn't look at the perceived state for so long. And now we've started looking at it. And that's
Very
how is the conflict grown? Look at the level of conflict, where it's got to. We were at conflict 9, area 9, nearly 9. It's just, with the genocide and everything happening, we just ignored it. And the perceived state should have been looked at decades ago. And it's the same of any relationship. If you leave it, it's going to keep on getting worse and worse. So the earlier you catch it, the better. If a home environment is toxic and you don't do anything about it, it's going to impact on every human being in that home environment. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse. So it's better to, get self-aware and then put things right. And when you take that step and you're courageous, Allah Ta'ala also helps in these situations, because by your very nature, you know what's right. Allah Ta'ala has created us like that. So it's to be cowardly and let that situation continue it's not really correct, because it's impacting on everybody in the home or in the team. And part of leadership in an organization, it's very necessary. We see now, how politics plays. It's all about power. It's not about doing right. So it's applying at every level. You have to do what is right. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Please go ahead.
Sorry, my computer decided not to give me the option of hand raise, so that's why. So Brother Hansla is asking, basically he's given me this scenario. 2 Muslim brothers, Ali and Hassan, were discussing the best approach to practicing charity. Ali was inspired by an Islamic influencer, Mufti Mang, who often emphasized the importance of individual acts of kindness. On the other hand, Hassan followed another influencer, Noman Ali Khan, who focused on the significance of community service and collective efforts. Both brothers respected their influencers and wanted to follow their advice. So the conflict begins. Question 1. Ali asks, don't you think Mufti Menki is right when he says that individual acts of charity can make a huge difference? Hassan responds, I respect Mufti Menk, but Noman Ali Khan emphasizes that work together as a community has a much larger I lost my track. He says,
I get it, Sister Shazia.
okay.
I think we are stepping ahead, because our next lecture is about causes of conflict. And this will be answered in that. You're actually, they're both right in the sense of what they're saying. But what could be the causes of conflict? We'll take you through that, and you have to analyze what is the cause of conflict. And then we take it further into the next lesson as to how do you resolve when that kind of conflict exists in values. And, we'll take that, inshallah, next time. It's a good question.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Brother,
Again, the question in this would be, you say even a conflict, or is this just still a discussion, right? And how much is one enforcing on the other? to create? Is it the sharing of ideas, or is this imposing each other to even get to the level of conflict? So that'll be that was something which came to my mind as well. Yeah.
Because it could just be a discussion and sharing of ideas, and there's no conflict. Yeah. Okay, so now we really want some questions. Otherwise, it says we don't enjoy it when you don't ask questions. Come on. Everyone should have a question. If they were listening, you have a question. Tell us what you thought about it. What did you learn anything? How many of you have answered the survey? I want everybody's hand up on answering the survey. You're here, we treasure you. You're the best people to be here with us. We really, really want you connected with us. We want you to take this journey with us. So how many people have answered the survey? Thank you. I have one hand. Can everybody answer the survey, please? 2 hands.
Me as well.
Okay, thank you. Okay, still waiting for others. Come on.
So the survey, you meant by the survey is the quizzes we have done.
No, the survey form on the chat. The survey form on the chat. There is a link given on the chat that you have to click on. It'll take you to the survey form about this.
All right, okay. Sorry, I didn't see that because I was just driving. So
Okay.
I'll see. No problem. I'll see now. I'll check it.
Okay,
Thank you.
we'll put it in the WhatsApp group as well.
Yeah.
That will be better, please. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Sorry, I was just saying the problem is we are listening to you carefully as well, paying attention. But what happens sometimes, the people with the kids, they have kids around and we go noise and this and that. So that's why we're not like speaking to you, but we are listening.
Okay, thank you, Nori.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. That makes me feel better. Okay, any other questions? We're going to make every home, inshallah, a perfect home for our children, for ourselves, to become real good Muslims in our life. This is what we are aiming for, and together we'll do it, inshallah. Yes?
Yeah, absolutely. Inshallah. Again, we are here to serve. We are here to help each other. If we, Alhamdulillah, if we know something better to make someone's lives better, our job is to, pass it down to others. So that is why we are here. And again, please use us. Please use us.
Okay, we have a
Thank you.
question. We have a question from Sister Shazia.
No, we don't have any question in the chat.
We have a question
But
here
I would
from
request
you, Sister Shazia. We have a question that is, everyone thinks that she or he is right. How to convince the other person to check their own faults? This is the question. So this area we are going to cover in the 3rd lesson of how to do it. How to go about creating understanding. Because if you're going to tell somebody you're wrong, you're bad, you got it wrong, I got it right, it's not going to work. So how do you actually bring about that stage where you can change that person's viewpoint? What needs to be done? Is it possible? Is it not possible? We talk about that in our 3rd lecture that we are having. Thank you for that question, Suhail.
Yeah. So the other question is, what do you want us to do? Like, how do you, should a person be taking out time daily or weekly? Should this be given time for the self-awareness and for this, analysis? So what is the recommendation? Because I guess time and distraction is our, biggest, weakness at this time.
Yeah. So basically what should happen after this lecture is that you actually enroll on the course. So Atif, could you put the link there and also put it in the groups of this course? I'll give you the link for the course. Just go and put the order in. If you are on a scholarship, you want to do it on a scholarship, then please put in the registration form and the staff will get you going on it. So I'm putting the course link that you need to go on. So your question, Sister Farhana, the main thing is that you can live your life the way it is and keep on going till the day Allah Ta'ala takes that life away. It's your choice whether you want to improve it or whether you want to go on handling day-to-day problems the same way and suffering. It's your choice, and your families will suffer as well, and everything around you. You're impacted by everything, and you impact everything around you. That's the fact of life.
True.
So the door has opened. Alhamdulillah, you are here. Not everyone is here, but you 32 people are here. And Allah Ta'ala shows, you know, I mean, I consider myself very blessed to have found some of you, because it's made it possible for us to do this work. And Allah Ta'ala brings people together. So He's brought you here, you know about this course, and we have this door open where you can do the course, and whatever we covered today, you will read it again. You can listen to this video as well, and there are little quizzes that you can answer. And it just firmly puts the thing in your mind. What happens with this talk is you go, and as you said, Noreen said, you know, you go off and you're busy and everything, and then you've forgotten about it. But we want that knowledge embedded in you so you can apply it every moment of your life, and you are spiritually strengthened. Spiritual strengthening will come from Know Yourself courses. So while you're doing this, I would suggest you do that one as well. Start on the Know Yourself area, where you learn about who you are, what's your mind, what's your emotion. You get to distinguish between them. So my viewpoint is, give yourself at least 1 hour a day on training. We are too late already not knowing the basic things about ourselves. Let's not put our children and our families in the same boat that we are in. Let's get them to a higher level. And that the only way to do that is to get a grip and fill in the gaps where our knowledge is missing. And I would recommend that you do that. I mean, I had to do it. I had to do it because nothing would resolve. You just keep on trying. The same situation keeps on occurring again and again. What do? There's got to be a way to get past it for me to be stronger spiritually and face life. So we've come up with the whole area of missing knowledge, missing gaps, and this is the platform made just for you to do that. And inshallah, you'll make the most of it by starting today, and don't delay it. Inshallah, just
True.
do it. And we are here to help you. There's a very strong team behind. Sister Shazia is here, Sister Aisha is here. There are lots of people here who will just step up and help you if you've got any questions on logging in or your order form is not going through. They'll help you out, inshallah.
Inshallah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we as precious creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deserve to give time to ourselves, and this is going to benefit both us and humanity at large. So do not belittle the time you're going to make out of your busy schedule to invest in yourself, inshallah, and the humanity, inshallah. Jazakallah. Yeah. Any last question?
Two hands raised, Sister Farhana.
Yeah, we have Sister Farah Sheikh. Go ahead, Sister Farah. Please unmute yourself. And Sister Shazia, could you please unmute Sister Farah? Yeah, Jazakallah. Sister Farah, go ahead. Bismillah.
I was just going to say that I've been part of Know Yourself, and I've been doing the quizzes, and I'm very much looking forward to the next parts, how to resolve the issues and how to manage life through knowledge, basically.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Jazakallah khair, Sister Farah. Inshallah, that's our goal, inshallah.
Inshallah, yeah.
Yeah, and actually, as a part of the assignment, this entire assignment, the last section is to actually sit back, think on the relationships you have, and kind of give them the scoring level, to assess them as well. So that is included in that. So you will be doing that part. So just wanted to let you know that is included in the assignment, and that's the practical application of this to your personal life, inshallah.
So we're meeting again, Sister Farhana, on Thursday, the same time.
Yes.
To just
Yeah.
go over this and answer any questions you have. Otherwise, just continue with that, with the assignments. We want you to finish it before we do the next part. Otherwise, if you don't get the basics in and start giving you the next lecture, it's not going to give a result. So we're very keen for you to continue, finish all these exercises, and you can do the courses. There are, I think, 4 or 5 quizzes on it, but it's exactly the same material that I've just covered today.
Yeah,
So you won't
yeah,
have
and exactly. And it's just application to your personal life and your scenario, and you get to sit back, reflect, and kind of get self-aware of the relationships around you. So that's kind of what you'll get out of doing those assignments, inshallah. So Thursday, inshallah, same time, we will have a discussion. Any questions, anything, and then we will move forward with the next session. The next session would be on Sunday, right, Sister Faida? The next the theory.
Thursday we have a session. Thursday we have
Yeah.
a session.
Mhm. The Thursday is going to be the question and answer discussion
Question
session.
answer, and then on Sunday we'll announce the topic. I want to see how many students actually finish this side, and then I'll give the next lecture. Because if a lot of people have not done it, then we'll put another lecture in. How many of you are interested in learning about how to be physically fit and how important it is in life? Is that a topic that interests you? How should we become physically fit? And what impact does it have on life if we are not physically fit? Okay. Somebody not interested in it? Somebody thinks, oh, it's a boring topic. I don't want to know about it. Anybody like that? Put your thumbs up if you don't want the topic. So it looks like everybody's interested in that. We're getting Brother Saad to speak on that. He's a trainer. And very keen for all ladies and gents to be physically fit, because it helps us in our self-awareness as well. Even on this course, it gets us very strong and spiritually strong if we are looking after ourselves physically. So that would be the idea. So if you're doing very well on it, then we'll continue with the next session. Otherwise, we'll put another topic in and keep on empowering you with some kind of knowledge to apply in life. Yes?
Inshallah. So again, yeah, please fill in the forms, because we'll know how to make this better for you. So make sure you fill in the form sent in the link. And alrighty, inshallah. Okay. Do you want me to close this, Faida, or
I think we should close.
Yes, yeah, please.
Okay. So inshallah, jazakallah khair for again. Yeah, Sister Shazia, you had anything?
We just want
There's one
final words from.
some question.
Yes.
What is this? Can you read it, Sister Shazia?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मेरा सवाल ये है कि मिडिल क्लास में जो जॉइंट फैमिली सिस्टम में रहते हैं, वहाँ घर का माहौल बहुत टिपिकल होता है और खुद को और बच्चों को उस माहौल के में चेंज करना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है। प्रेशर की वजह से चिड़चिड़ापन आ जाता है और सारा गुस्सा बच्चों पर निकलता है, तो क्या करना चाहिए?
Again, I think, it needs the other lectures, find out the values, and also needs your self-awareness. Everything is possible. Everything is an exam, a test by Allah Ta'ala. A joint family unit can be a blessing. It can be very harmful too. It really is up to us what we make out of it. So, jitne aap strong honge, jitna aap ko apni, you're in control of your mind, your emotions and everything, you can bring that whole family unit up to a higher spiritual level, a higher level of comfort and understanding and peace. It's possible. It's just possible. We have given up on it. We should not give up on it. First, we need to work on ourselves. Then we need to work on our spouse, and do ka party ban gayi, and then it works on everybody else. Truth जो है उसको कोई छुपा नहीं सकता. It's always there. Allah Ta'ala zahir kar dete hain. So people are attracted towards what is right. So there are solutions. Inshallah, it will sort out. just bear with us as we go through this journey.
So एक और
Yeah.
क्वेश्चन है कि मतलब हम बड़े तो समझ सकते हैं, लेकिन बच्चे अगर आपस में कॉन्फ्लिक्ट, वो उनका कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होता है, तो उनको किस तरह से हम समझा सकते हैं?
Yeah, again, it comes down to, we are going, ये जो know your self के parts है ना, अगर आप बच्चे को समझा दें, we are going to conduct one lecture on that. How do you teach your child about himself? कि माइंड क्या है, इमोशन क्या है, रूह क्या है, बॉडी क्या है, उसको पहचान ही नहीं है, उसको पता ही नहीं है वो क्यों ये हरकत उसने क्यों की. Why did he hit his brother or his sister? Why did he shout? Why did he break that thing? He doesn't know that. So first thing becomes to make them aware of why did it happen, who caused it, was it them, or was it the emotion, or was it the mind? So आप इस course को as parents अगर हैं तो please give it priority because your children need that data. I've run it in pre-primary school and children learn who made this happen. You know, छोटे से छोटा बच्चे को पता होता है कि मैंने ये किया है या मेरे इमोशन ने कर दिया इसको, ये कंट्रोल कर लिया. It's very simple. They are better than us children in understanding themselves. So inshallah, with efforts, we will get there. You have been blessed with children. Blessed. Every child is a blessing of purity. Let's not ruin them with what the environment, toxic environment, giving them a toxic environment. Let's put the environments right, inshallah. And live a nice, peaceful home where they grow spiritually and serve Allah Ta'ala throughout their lives. Amen.
No, I mean, same questions, same. Someone says she gets angry so easily. She gets hyper so easily.
Again, do the know yourself
Same.
course.
Yeah.
Know yourself course. Assignments हैं, अपने खुद बैठ के आप करें, reflect करें. Sister Sazia will guide you. Atif will guide you how to log in. Just start. You are blessed to think कि इसको सही करना है. कुछ लोगों को तो ये भी नहीं पता इसको सही करना है. You are blessed कि आप में urge है वो कि मैं इसको सही करूं.
True.
So inshallah, we'll do it. We'll post everything in the group. I think we can wind up now, Sister Shazia.
Yes. Yes,
We are
inshallah.
done.
Yeah, I like these words. We don't even know that what we don't know. So yeah, we whatever is going wrong, मतलब जो कुछ भी हमारी लाइफ में गलत हो रहा है, हमें एहसास भी नहीं है कि वो गलत हो रहा है हमारे साथ sometimes. तो बेस्ट थिंग इज कि हम अपने आप को जानें और बच्चों को भी सिखाएं कि वो कैसे अपने आप को जान सकते हैं. I really like this. I really enjoyed this session. Alhamdulillah. So, Ma'am Farhana, over to you.
Ji.
For
Okay,
closing.
Jazakallah
Yeah.
khairan. Again, okay, inshallah. So inshallah, we'll see you on Thursday and with your questions. Please, aap assignment kare and trust me in the assignment. Whether your joint family or personal family, rate down your relationships. So at least you identified everywhere where there are conflicts. So wo step ho jayega inshallah after this. So inshallah, a'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wal asr innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amilus solihati wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. Jazakallahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.